This is gonna be us going live and then actually cast because like I feel like last time we like waited for like 15 minutes or something before
Yeah, I
before
put the
we
timestamps on the last one. I forgot how long we actually went on.
yeah.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah, I'm just gonna update the title real quick.
Oh,
Mario's
yeah, I can
execution.
hear us.
Nice. Okay.
It's tough. But yeah, I can hear us just fine so far.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Uh,
Me
all right.
here,
So
rest of
that's
Mamma
all
Mia.
set. And then let me just get the link. I'm doing this all on my phone just because the simple fact that I'm not home.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's all
I'm
good.
actually on my work laptop right now. So
It's all good.
Gotcha.
okay,
But
but I got everything prepped. So the link is out. Um, Mayfade back. There you go.
This
man,
man's adapting.
someone watching already? God damn.
We're
Dang,
popular. We're
really?
popular. We got 14 subscribers.
All right, let me.
86 more till we can finally get a customized link.
Jesus.
All right. I
We'll get.
tweeted it out. We're good.
I'm
We
about
are
to tweet it
live.
out too.
I'm gonna get that in a moment. Ba-ba.
All right, you guys ready to start this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Loving the enthusiasm, guys.
Got a lot of sleep. Got a lot of sleep.
All right. Um. All right. Let's do this, guys. Welcome back to the seventh episode of the DualShock and Sense Podcast. I am your host, the connoisseur of anime. What did I say last time? Was it just straight up anime waifus? Was that
Yeah.
it? You know what? Let's just roll with that. That name is subject to change, man. It's not gonna be like that forever. So yeah. I'm host the I'm Soul the host. With me as always, I got my two co-hosts. Macho, how you doing, man?
What's going on, everybody? It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic. Going by Kingdom Hearts on PC is not available.
Nice. Walt, what's up, man?
Hey guys, Walter coming at you. Be careful if you watch Attack on Titan. There's the final chapter gonna release in like 9 days, and anime is gonna be releasing in December. Be careful, guys. Please, please, please. Take care, please.
Definitely. So yeah, man, we're gonna start off the podcast just like we do every single week with talking about what we've been playing. Really quickly, I'm gonna go first because it's not been much on my end. I've really just been kind of casually playing The Last of Us Part Two. I'm in this weird place where like I I'm just I just found something to play basically, but like I really am like waiting for that 60 FPS patch whenever that thing decides to come out. But at the same time, like I'm telling myself not to play too much of this because yeah, I do want to wait for that patch. But at the same time, I'm having so much fun with the game that like I can't stop playing it. So I'm like in this really weird spot that like yeah, I'm telling myself to wait, but at the same time, I'm like I gotta keep playing, man. This gameplay is so good. Um,
Yeah, I'm really tempted to just buy it on sale now, but I really want to play it when it's enhanced.
yeah, man, cause like yeah, I'm having a blast with it, but yeah, like after coming after like Demon Souls or Spider Man or even Hitman, which were all at 60 FPS, and then coming back to this, which is at 30, it's definitely like jarring, but just the gameplay alone is what's keeping me in it. But
I
yeah,
don't have that issue.
oh yeah, we know. Um, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for me. There is, um, I've been wanting to. I've had my eye on this game called Disco Elysium. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Uh,
Incredible game. I have it on PC.
awesome, dude. Yeah, I because it just came out on PS4 and PS5, and I'm excited to get into that. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow for payday to actually get that game. So I'm excited to jump into that because I've heard like nothing but good things about it in terms of like the story. So yeah, I'm definitely that's probably gonna be like the next game that I get into. Um, but yeah,
Good stuff.
besides Last of Us Part Two, it's been pretty light. So yeah. What about you, Walt? What's been going on with you?
Like I was thinking about it. I haven't really played much. What I did play after last week's podcast was a bit of Tales of Vesperia on my Switch, and just drench in that JRPG goodness. But aside from that, I've just been downloading a few games here and there to get ready because I've never actually like even played them. One of them, which I'm getting the chance to do it because I don't have a PS5. Yay! Is a free starter pack for Hitman 3. I think gives you like one or two missions to play, so I'm eager to try that out. Um, and I re-downloaded Stardew Valley after like 3 years, which I want to hop back into and just relax amidst the countless of tense games that are coming out at times. Um, and other than that, nothing much really. No new games because honestly, there's not much coming out that really piques my interest.
Gotcha. You know what? Where's my manners, man? We needed to start off this podcast on a better note, man. Let me apologize really quickly because we need to be, a good podcast and have a moment of silence for Mario. Recently, if you guys did not hear,
Don't laugh, Macho. This is serious.
I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, hold that thought, Macho. There's more important things at hand right now, okay? Um, so if you guys didn't hear, yeah, Mario. Man, I thought the real Mario was in the podcast for a minute, man. Um,
That was just him dying again.
oh, gotcha. So yeah, Mario had a he was executed. He, he was publicly executed by Nintendo.
Yeah, man. So I got some deets. I don't know how true they are, but supposedly Mario was involved with some government embezzlement, and he got a fallout with his local government. I think he was uh, in Venice, I believe it was. He was plumbing, and supposedly he was putting money in people's restrooms and making sure that they were delivered to the highest bidder in the underworld. And the government caught up, and they were like, "We gotta end this. It's now or never." And
Damn,
Mario,
whoa, you were a detective on this case? What's going on?
unfortunately, Mario was executed.
But we missed one of the most important things that Soul said, though. He said it was executed by Nintendo.
Yeah.
It really be
Yeah,
your own
that's the
family.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Nintendo said they did it, but that's only because they want to take credit. They don't want to admit that a third party was involved.
That's how it
This
is.
is wild. This is
Oh,
wild. This is
man.
exactly like Zuko and his dad. This is wild.
Yeah, man. This is crazy, man. Damn. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
really quick before we get back into the podcast proper, man. Let's have a moment of silence for our guy, man, for the plumber, man. Nintendo didn't have to do him like that, but they did. So yeah, let's have a brief moment of silence for the plumber, man. Okay, we're good. So Macho. Macho, what's going on with you, man? What have you been playing?
Man, for the first time since we started doing this podcast, guys, I have a full plate for you guys. I had a real busy week with gaming,
Okay.
so I won't take up too much of your time, too much of the time. But I'll just break it down here. So the indie game that I was talking about last week's podcast, I was actually reviewing for lordsofgaming.net. It's been posted. The indie game is called Lost Words Beyond the Page. And funny story about this one was that in 2019, before I started freelancing for Lords of Gaming, one second. Before I started freelancing for Lords of Gaming, I actually interviewed the voice actress for that game, and that was like a ton of fun just to do. That was like kind of like where I really started my journalism, quote unquote, side career for games. So to actually review this game was actually kind of like a nice, like, loop around, I guess you could say, for where I am and for writing games and such like that. So I was able to actually review it. It's a very cute game. It's a 2D platformer, side scroller. That's has to do with this writer called Izzy, where she's a young girl. She's been given a journal by her grandmother, and her grandmother pushed her to like actually start writing. So Izzy starts writing like a fictional story in her journal, and so the game just goes back and forth between this fictional world and her journal, and when she's actually writing. So she's actually like monologuing her day and narrating what's going on in her daily life, and that kind of like reflects what's going on in the journal. So very cute platformer. It's around 4 to 5 hours. It's a great like weekend game. If you want more details, head to lordsgaming.net, where I kind of just break down the entire game and give it like my final score. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I think it's like one of the most approaches to gameplay and storytelling for an indie game like this. And even though it's short and it's very simple and kind of just it's not plain in the bad way. It's more like plain in like in a very good and simple way, where you can just jump into it and have some fun and enjoy the story, and then that'd be your great weekend game that you can remember. Plus, it's really fun to play with kids too.
What's the actual like gameplay like style? Like what are you doing like moment to moment?
Yeah, so so basically Izzy, well, she gives like the hero of her story this power called word magic. So what that hero does is that she'll take like words that you get from your adventure, and she'll get them from her magic book, and then you'll drag those words over platforming sections and even into sentences to complete the sentences and to overcome obstacles. So like the word break, if you hover that over like a rock that has like cracks in it, it'll just break, and then you're able to continue on with the story.
Gotcha.
So
That's actually
it's pretty unique.
that's actually like a pretty cool like melding of like both narrative, like the narrative feeding into like the gameplay, like what you're actually doing gameplay wise. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't get super deep into its mechanics, so I wouldn't say don't go into expecting like something like drastic or your like true mind bending challenges or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Yeah, it's very very the way it is, but it's fun overall, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Secondly, finally finished Bravely Default 2.
Hey.
After 65, 66 hours, I finally had the final end credits in that game, and it's a banger. It's really good. I don't think it's better than the first one, but for what it is, and for how much game you're actually getting out of this, it's a full-fledged JRPG, true to its roots. Sometimes it's true to its roots to a fault, but also to like a really good benefit. The gameplay is like incredible. The music is awesome, so I'll write my review for that too. But finally finished it, and then since I was actually over the fiance's place this week, we decided to pick up It Takes Two.
Nice. How's
And
how's that been? 'Cause I've been hearing
it's
like
been
nothing but good things about it.
it's oh my it's let me just say, the developer Hazelight and the creator Joseph Ferris, that guy, he doesn't miss. He
Nice.
doesn't miss. It Takes Two is incredible.
Do you
Like
think
me,
do you think it's his best game so far?
well, I haven't played A Way Out, so I can't really say that per se, but
Gotcha.
I would just say it's one of my favorite games of the year so far.
Nice.
Like absolutely, like it's like pristine. Like levels are super creative, and nothing feels like it's drawn out. The co-op action is just awesome. It's cinematic, but also has like a pretty good story that's attached to it. There's some moments there are more moments that'll make you laugh hysterically, but there are some moments like last night where me and my fiance were playing, and we were just horrified to the point where we just felt like really crappy people. So like it went to the point where like I didn't really like want to feel like playing anymore for that night because I felt so bad about what we were doing. So like this game takes you places. and it's a lot of fun. Definitely one of my favorite games of the year so
Yeah,
far.
it takes you places. It takes the two of you places.
Oh
Oh my god.
man. Oh man. I'm about to. You know what? You're on thin ice right now. Well, you make
He's
another
on
joke.
timeout.
Yeah,
He's in
What
timeout.
you mean?
you make another joke like that again. You're out, man.
No,
He's on timeout.
Yeah, for real.
help!
So yeah,
Um,
we've just been playing that, and then lastly, I actually started dipping my toes into Concrete Genie.
nice, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know if I liked it for the first 45 minutes. I was like, what is this
Yeah,
game?
yeah, for sure.
But I got to like chapter 3 or 4 last night.
Mhm.
So, and from what I saw, it's like not like an incredibly long game. So since I
Yeah,
was already
yeah,
like halfway through, I was just like, might as well.
yeah.
But it's actually a really nice zen kind of relaxing experience. I'm enjoying my time from playing that game. Aside from like It Takes Two, where it's a little more action packed, or um, Brave Default, where it's like super JRPG heavy. So it's a nice kind of break the mold. I'm enjoying my time with it. It's really relaxing.
Definitely, man. So my words did convince you to try it out, man. That's nice.
Absolutely, yeah. I was looking. I was like, but it still really says like it gets better when you keep playing. So I'll keep playing it, and it did. It really did. I started like really like using all the art abilities on the walls in the town, stuff like that, and actually doing all the stuff you gotta do in it. I didn't really know what to expect from it, but I'm liking it. The only thing I absolutely despise is their faces.
Oh, really?
The face animations. I hate the robot
Ah,
chicken face
I
animations.
actually like it, man. I actually like
I'm like
it.
I'm warming up to it because like it fits and the voice
Yeah.
acting is actually really good, but
Mm.
wait, it has like Kingdom Hearts style, or like just the mouth moves like animated.
no, don't disrespect Kingdom Hearts like that.
Oh
No,
That's not
man.
robot. That's
Oh man.
Robot
it's a
Chicken's a
horrible
lot
example.
worse. Robot
Yeah,
Chicken's a lot worse. It's like
I
Robot
mean,
Chicken's well, the way the Robot Chicken does it is obviously on Kingdom Hearts is like video game graphics, but Robot
of
Chicken's more like it looks
course.
like it's on clay
Yeah, it's
of
like
Oh.
sorts.
Flemish. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it looks on Concrete Genie, and I'm getting used to it, but still, like I just don't like that animation. It looks so creepy.
Mm, definitely. Yeah. Kind of like
Definitely.
Coraline.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely what I would compare it most to.
Dude, I love Tim Burton. So like, I actually want to try Concrete Genie now. Like that's
No,
exciting.
I think if you like Timber, you'll like this game, yeah, for sure. Like as far as like the like overall style and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the way the like the city is or like the town or wherever it is, it's very it feels like an Infamous game almost sort of
Oh, okay.
like the way you're traversing everything, but like it's like layered with like this beautiful art that you get to draw when you have you get your magic brush. So
Right, right, right. Got it. Gotcha. Oh, sweet.
Nice. All right, man. I guess that pretty much wraps up. Yeah, that's it for you, Macho. That wraps up the stuff that you've been playing this week.
yeah, man.
Nice,
Yeah, man.
nice.
Just look out for on lordsgaming.net. I'm reviewing Bravely Default 2 next, and It Takes Two. And yeah, the Lost Words Beyond the Page review is up right now, so go and check it out.
Nice, man. Okay, so let's jump into the podcast proper. Um, so I feel like this is probably going to be a relatively quick topic, but let's jump into it nonetheless. Recently in a interview with Kotaku, who I'm sure they're gonna catch some smoke later on, man. We got some slander for Kotaku. Um,
Bam, bam.
but yeah, in an interview with Kotaku, Siobhan Reddy, who is the studio director of Media Molecule, she was talking about dreams and their sort of future plans for curation, and how sort of engagement is up for the game. So she was addressing all these different questions, and in one of the more intriguing sort of tidbits from the article that we were able to pull out, she said the following quote: "One of the big things we did in the last half of last year was we made Abby the live product lead for Dreams. That's been a really big step because the live aspect is its own product in a way. We are on a big recruitment drive right now because to make the progress we want, we need programmers and we need designers. What really excites me about all of this is Sony is really behind what we're doing and are investing in the studio to grow." So what are you guys' thoughts on Sony seemingly like, yeah, they're trusting Media Molecule, they're investing more into this studio, expanding it further out. I know for me personally, like I never really had this concern myself, but I understand why other people felt this way. This sort of fear that, hey, Media Molecule makes critically acclaimed games every time they put out something, but they aren't necessarily sales wise the juggernauts of Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, Insomniac, etc., etc. So people naturally, worried that, since they aren't selling those big numbers, that Sony that they were like susceptible to, being downscaled or being closed or, whatever. But seemingly that it's like the opposite is happening. That no, Sony is, despite Dreams' sort of low key sales success or lack thereof, that they're kind of doing the opposite and saying no, let's actually trust and invest into this team further. So what do you guys think about this?
It's a good question, Jay. Here's the thing, man.
Oh man.
This
Oh
No, this is
man.
great. This sounds great.
Oh, okay,
As
okay.
someone that's mentioned, meaning the fact of Dreams being alive by the single person that's doing the Avatar game. I don't think that's the case. I do think that the game has not that just that game, maybe other future titles that involve the creativity aspect that Mario Maker-esque, like play your levels, build your own stuff. People have built countless types of from horror to like mimicking other games like God of War. Like they made like legit, verbatim games, one to one. But I do think that investing and giving this studio the chance to actually shine and actually do its thing, whether it's with Dreams or other future titles, I mean, I'm all in for this. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see it get the recognition it deserves. Because Dreams is literally a low key game that did find success with a certain audience, but it just stayed there. It stayed in its own bubble.
Yeah, and they talked about expanding the game beyond the PlayStation ecosystem, which is things that I feel like we've been saying since the game came out, that this game would be perfect on PC. And you
Oh,
know
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Imagine the possibilities on PlayStation itself; they're pretty big. Imagine on PC, they're countless. Like,
yeah,
forget it. No, that's wraps. That game is gonna be like, it's gonna be the not literally, but like the Mario Maker of.
yeah, because this kind of game like kind of thrives off of a consistent, stream of content being dropped in for players to actually play. So if, the players aren't there to be able to sort of feed that or create that content in the first place, then you're not going to have a lot of people in there playing Dreams. So yeah,
Exactly.
if you can
This is a game
expand
that essentially strives of that.
yeah, so if you can expand that player base to, sort of get the potential of more people creating stuff, then yeah, that's nothing but a good thing. What about
Oh,
you,
for
Macho?
sure.
To me, this means two things. One is that obviously expanding Dreams for like a larger ecosystem, which tells me that Sony wants Dreams to be like their own Minecraft in a sense, where it's something completely
Ooh.
unique to them, and people, anybody, all ages can come in and just start creating and kind of just really flex that creativity bone that a lot of people love to do in Minecraft and other kind of like building simulators or kind of like open world, kind of do your own thing. The second is a Little Big Planet game. Another Little Big Planet game by the tried and true developers that started the franchise, Miyamoto.
Right.
I think it could probably go that route. I'm more certain that it's a new IP.
Yeah.
That the reason why they want to expand, but I can see them playing the safe route too and just putting out another Little Big Planet game. Because while Little Big Planet, I think it's kind of died off since like the PS3 era, but I feel like there's still potential there. Even if it doesn't want to be like the mascot of PlayStation anymore, and that's more like Astrobot's role. But yeah, a Little Big Planet game I feel like is always welcome because it appeals to the younger audience, and also it has a really cute and fun nature to it that I think a lot of people kind of gravitate towards when they see it on the shelf or see some gameplay of it. I didn't play Sackboy's Greatest Adventure, I think it's called, the one on PS5 and PS4.
Yeah, definitely.
But I want to play it. It looks really fun.
What was I gonna say? Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like they're kind of done with that IP, and at the same time, I feel like Sackboy is in good hands with Sumo Digital, which is something I never thought I would say. But with Big Adventure, they low key actually put out like a pretty good title, and at BAFTA as well, it got like 2 awards too, which was pretty nuts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like, I had Jesus Christ, man, are you guys seeing this? um. Oh my god.
I just want to thank you, Level 1 Gaming, for tuning in, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate the love.
Yeah, enjoy this Last of Us 2 gameplay that Jay is playing live.
Gameplay right here.
He's playing live right now. As you can see, he's getting mauled by somebody.
Oh, no wonder. This is the ambush area.
Yeah.
So what Soul was saying before, he was like, the Little Big Planet franchise in good hands with another studio, and that at least meeting Malik with enough ample room to work on a new IP or expand dreams. Am I right?
Basically, man. Basically. Basically.
That was the soul of it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, look, this man got the puns today. What's April Fool's got you?
That was not intended. That legit was not intended. Damn.
Yeah, Macho's acting a little bit different today, man. But
Macho or Walt?
Oh no, Walt, my bad.
I mean, I don't know. All of us, man.
Confusing the 2 Hispanics. He's confusing the 2 Hispanics. What is this now?
My mind's all over. My mind's all over the place right now, man. I'm stressed. I'm stressed, man. I'm so stressed.
Dude, make sure to check the corners, man. That AI is smart.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah. So yeah, my point was basically that like I'm skeptical about them ever returning to Sackboy because like. Just keeping with sort of Sony's track record with their studios, like they all, move on to new IPs. And like I said, I feel like Sumo Digital, Little Big Planet 3 aside, they've done well with that IP. So like, why not let someone else take it while you have your premier, your own first party studio sort of working on something else.
Well, no, here's a question I have for you. Do you think that they're going to release Dreams for PSVR?
I think they already have, right?
Have they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Have they?
I'm like, this probably isn't a good percentage. I'm like 60% sure they did.
I'm on that.
All right, yeah, check it really quick.
Or at least expand on that then. I'm not sure. Yeah, it says Dreams PSVR. One of the reviews was saying a messy, unmissable VR playground.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, because
I think that's a good thing. In fact, it's a VR game, but
it's not enough.
But
though.
yeah,
it's not enough. Like they need to, like I said, PC. They need to get on that.
Yeah, they need to expand their user base, because that is essentially a game that strives of that, out of user generated content.
Exactly.
So.
I totally forgot they even released a PSVR like middle of last year.
And
that's how bad it was.
Hey man, that's that communication we about to get into. Speaking of,
True.
Oh,
let's get
I
into
know where this
this.
is going.
Let's get into this PS Store news. Um, that has officially been confirmed. I think last week, yeah, we talked about it, but we said that it hasn't been officially confirmed yet. But I think pretty much the consensus with us was that Sony's silence on the matter was sort of deafening, and told us all that we really needed to know. Because like I feel like if this was Xbox, they would have immediately like uh what's the saying, nip the bud or something like that. They
Yeah,
would have
put
addressed
the
it.
nip in the bud.
Yeah, they would have addressed it immediately. So yeah, they finally did confirm it. Does anyone have the exact details on it, or can we just let me see if I can.
Well, that's since Sony didn't put out a blog post or they
That's
didn't tweet
yeah,
it
that's
out.
that's another
Yeah.
weird thing about this,
Um,
man.
yeah, they just updated their website, so or I have to go back into my emails to see what's up. Um, yeah, let me bring it up real quick to see what they're doing with that. Because
Yeah.
let me tell you, I am just
Let me
irritated.
let me put on this clown mask when I was saying last week that this is leaked. They'll talk about it. No, guys, I was wrong, y'all. Sony, what happened, man?
Oh
What happened?
man.
Yeah, let
This
me
hurt.
actually go. Let me keep going. So, or so keep it going. I'll get the link in
Once
a second.
again, whoa, we need you, we need you to distract us. Stall,
Dance,
stall,
monkey,
stall.
dance.
We need you to stall, man. What you got?
Listen, man. Listen, man. The reality of the case is, I'm gonna miss my Vita. Cause my Vita, I'm not gonna just buy all the Persona games just so I can have them. What if they're like, no, we're gonna actually block all the digital downloads? They said, although they mentioned, I think that you will be able to re-download any purchased content, but still, man, what does this say about the future of those consoles? Are they just absolute and they're just gonna be relics for physical copies? Not that's like that you're killing a console. You're killing literally 2 to 3 consoles in an era where digital media or in like digital forms of games are like the future. Like this is, I know there's physical people. A lot of people prefer their physical,
Yeah,
but with
that's why I
digital,
always say, man, physical over digital, man. This is
yeah,
one
man,
of those
same.
reasons. It's
I
never
straight up always say physical.
it's never what's the word, like
But
promised. It's never guaranteed that these
no, for
games
sure.
are gonna be up there forever. So that's why
Look,
you gotta
as a good
insure
example,
yourself.
yeah, and as a good example, yesterday we were memeing about Mario, but reality is they took off the Mario collection and Mario 35 from the eShop because that was. But they mentioned this is a limited time event. Even Nintendo was more transparent about what they were doing.
Which is still slimy as hell, though.
It's slimy as hell because I mean it sounds like a tactic. Obviously,
Well, it
they're
was
probably going to release the collection
they
as like not a anniversary edition or whatever.
funnily enough, they I forgot what publication broke this news, but there was a journalist who spoke to an anonymous Nintendo developer, and basically the reasoning behind Nintendo's decision to do that limited release is about as simple as you would expect it to be, which was essentially just that, yeah, to drive sales, to make people
Yeah, of course.
to make people believe that, like, oh, since this is only going to be here for a limited amount of time, we have to hurry up and get this before it goes away forever, right? And it worked. It clearly
Yeah,
worked.
It
and
definitely worked.
reality
They
of the
sold
and
millions.
Yeah.
oh, for sure. And reality of the matter, I got a copy. I quote unquote celebrated the anniversary, but behind that, it's a simple business tactic.
Oh man, not you too, Walt. Oh
I bought
Hey
it
man.
too.
man,
I bought it. I
Oh
bought it too.
no,
yes
my
sir.
guys. Fame, you see this, man? You see they're letting me down?
Nah.
Oh man.
Look, man.
This is
Like I know,
crazy.
I was thinking about putting on Twitter. I was like, man, I don't want my Mario collection no more. I'm selling for $10,000 right now. Who wants it? Who wants these bad ports of old games?
That is true though.
Um,
It might actually be worth some money in 10 years from now, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I loved. That was the first time I actually played those like old school 3D Mario games because I
All
never
right,
actually got into them on the Wii. So,
that's
but
not
they were
that bad
good.
then.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually did play through all three of them. A lot of fun. But you guys are the best. Thank you for stalling. Um, so what we got here from the official PlayStation.com website that I had to click on the link to actually get to. It was a little harder for actually finding it. They're saying that they're closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 on July 2nd of this year, on Vita on the 27th of August, and functionality for PSP will also retire on July 2nd. I don't know why they just did that. Basically, they're closing the store for PSP and PS3 on July 2nd, and Vita on the 27th of August of this year.
um,
So the what you will be able to do, at least if you're worried about your games, is that you still be able to re-download and play previous purchased games. You'll be able to access previous purchased movies and videos, and you also still be able to redeem a game and PS Plus vouchers like on those systems, I believe. That's what it's saying here. And yes, you can re-download and play claim game titles through PlayStation Plus as long as you're made a member of the service. But as far as the stuff that you lose, as like you can't access anymore, is that you won't be able to actually purchase games or PS3, PS Vita, and PSP digital content, including video and games. You won't be able to make in-game purchases, and you'll no longer be able to redeem PSN Wallet Fund vouchers on those systems. So the way you could actually access your games, and if you don't have enough space on your hard drive or on your memory card, you can just download your own content on PS3, PS Vita, and PSP by accessing the download list on the device wherever that may be. So yeah, I'm assuming that means that you can still go to the PSN store and then go to the download tab. You just won't be able to buy anything that's on the storefront because the games won't be available.
yeah, man, that's pretty wild. Like, I guess at the very least, it's I'm happy that people can still like games that they have. Oh yeah, Fame. I'm definitely gonna touch on that because that's you know what, I'm gonna get into that right now because that's sort of my biggest beef with this problem. Like, look, I've been on record saying that
Oh yeah.
hey, I haven't played a PS3, Vita, or PSP game in probably more than a decade, with the exception of like Sly 2, which was I had to get PS Now to get that, but like I'm secured in that way of like hey, I like at the same time I can acknowledge that yeah, other people there's definitely value to these older titles, whereas that's not as important for me, but I can definitely acknowledge that yeah, this definitely sucks for the people who want to play these. um but for me, sort of the thing that I'm most sort of like angry about is the way that they sort of handled this with the devs, where we've heard reports of the devs kind of like left in the dark about this. Like, to me, this has like shades of like almost like arrogant Sony. Like, they kind of just like shrugged their shoulders and they said, "Oh, whatever. They'll figure it out." You know what I mean? Because yeah, you do hear these reports of these devs literally finding this out through like finding out that the store was going to be closed through the Gamer's original article breaking the news, which sucks. Can you imagine finding out through a post on Twitter from a news site that hey, um, basically the storefront where you're going to sell your game is no longer going to exist, pretty much. Um, and
It absolutely like infuriates me, like
yeah,
to the
and
point where just like I get more mad about it than I should.
yeah, and what gets me even more mad about it is that they were still giving out dev kits like a month before this announcement.
Yep.
So like, why are you giving out dev kits a month before you make this decision that will like literally significantly upend the work and livelihood of so many devs? Like, these decisions, at least like I'm making this is a total assumption, but like these decisions don't just happen in like a few days. So they've probably had talks in like for months that like plans well far in advance that yeah, we're going to shut down the Vita, PS3, and PSP storefront. So like since they've had these talks for months, you would assume. I can't buy the excuse that like they just came to this decision recently. Like no, they've definitely had ample time to warn these devs like, hey, the storefronts like we're closing it down, pretty soon. So like I just don't buy the excuse that Sony just came to this decision randomly. So like yeah, more like I understand people are upset about the stores themselves being closed, but I'm more pissed off about how the way they handled this with the actual devs. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I agree. I
yeah,
agree with you.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, I was upset the fact that like a lot of these, like a lot of great games, like not just on PS3 or PS1, but PSP, PS Vita, like those stuff, like will cease to exist essentially on PlayStation consoles. Like, obviously, there are other means of getting these games, but being on PlayStation consoles, like there's no other way to access them, and that just gets me mad to the point where it's upsetting. And then when I actually read the story or read a couple stories around this discussion, what we're talking about here with the devs just being left in the dark, that is just unacceptable.
yeah, for sure. It's wrong on so many levels because like as Fame pointed out, like some of these dudes are crunching and rushing to get their games out the door now, and it's like that's the last thing you want to do to developers. And you take all of this within the context of us, in this sort of COVID world and people working from home, so you would assume that development is sort of even more difficult than it usually is. So you're making a extremely tough situation even tougher, and I don't know, man. It's slimy on so many levels. Um, Wall,
I feel like last summer, I do feel like last summer, starting last summer, was the beginning of Sony's uh, journey into like learning how to communicate with its audience better. Because like in among all that time, Microsoft has done an exceptional job in letting us know what they've been doing, how they've been doing it, their acquisitions, their Game Pass decisions. Phil Spencer has gone into detail in how Game Pass will function and where the games are going to ship and what's going to be done in regards to that. There's been so much obscurity from Sony since the PS5's release in like so many levels, and this just adds like insult to injury. Were they? My question is, what were they gonna do had this not been leaked or not been found out? Were they still just gonna update their webpage or like just send these emails and be like, "Whoops, you're gonna have to rush the games"? What was their mentality?
That's what
What
gets
was the
me really
approach?
upset too. I want to make sure before I made a statement. I was looking last night to make sure I was going through their Twitter. Did they say anything? Did they like put out a link?
No,
Nope.
no, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Is there anything on PlayStation 5 that like gives like a little notice about this? Nope. Is it on their blog posts that they, make frequent articles on for new and upcoming games and updates? Nope. So what's with the communication?
yeah,
Sony's learning that exclusives don't define a company. Like now they're gonna know just because you have exclusives doesn't mean you're automatically an all good company. You have to be transparent with your audience. You have to be real. You have to let us know why you make these decisions, and not just us, the devs. Those are the people that are in the front line, like actually taking care of the release of the games and their production and everything. We're just here to we're just here for the long run. We're just here hearing out what's happening. We're not really, quote unquote affected. We have remedies. We have physical copies, whatever. Whatever they're doing on the consumer part, there are ways around it. There's emulators. There's countless of things. But devs, you're taking out, you're playing with people's mental health and physical health, and essentially their daily lives, that's just effed up.
yeah,
It's effed up.
yeah, for real. And it's like I get it. Like they're like if people aren't using these storefronts, like I would imagine the people who are using the Vita storefront and especially PSP and PS3 is probably so minimal that Sony's just like there's no reason for us to keep these up. like, and it's probably taking server space and et cetera, whatever, excuse you want to use. But like at the same time, like we've already talked about the backwards compatibility. But even just aside of that, there's a sort of like almost like like a human responsibility to sort of do right by the people who are providing content for your storefront, for your platforms, to just do right by them. You know what I mean? And
It's called basic ethics. The ethics, just common ethics. You're just supposed to be like. It's not even a moral question. It's a question about just being transparent and being like an actual like human company. Don't be that these devs are just not gonna care. You're playing with people's time.
yeah,
You
and
know?
like
Yeah,
that's
well, you kind of hit the nail on the head where it's just like they can't just be about great games. While that's definitely an important factor because it's the hobby, it's video games,
that's the
right?
most important factor
You want great
to me,
games.
at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And same
for
here.
sure.
Same here. Like that, obviously, I game to play great games and to get new experiences, and PlayStation does an incredible job providing that. But that's half the work nowadays. It's not just
Yeah.
it's not like the 90s or the early 2000s where you can just be quiet about a lot of things. Like be in the limelight, enjoy it because people like the product and they love the brand and they love being in that ecosystem. So take advantage of that, but don't
And
take advantage of the kindness that people are actually doing, especially when it comes to making games on platforms that they love, like the Vita. A lot of people see the Vita as an opportunity for game making. Now it's not.
and here's the thing: they have to realize a lot of people are getting interested in the gaming industry, and whether that be from PR to actual development. And journalists have to realize this. We have to realize that if we continue to just turn a blind eye, and essentially Jay said it, we only care about the games, but we're human enough to actually shine light upon the actual problems that Sony has. If we were some no good, whatever human being, we turn a blind eye. Okay, it gets worse. Companies become all around crunch. It becomes inhumane as a work environment. We have people, we have comrade co-workers, whether it be colleagues, whatever, that work in the journalist and the news industry, that they want a position in the gaming industry. What we're doing essentially by not talking about this and not like actually bringing out the actual issues, we're just saying F you to any colleague that wants to get it in the end gaming industry, because we're essentially just promoting an environment that promotes toxicity and promotes obscurity. So by shining a light to these issues, we're actually like helping whoever like for I don't know which company you mentioned y'all's like dream company if y'all were to work on one, or like how Jay wants to be at least a lead writer in a company. If we keep turning a blind eye, that position might become 100 times more stressful to be in. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're bombarded with crunch. You're bombarded with just ethical issues. If we have to do something, because in the long run, this will affect so many people. So many people.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard just because there are reports that PlayStation 5 is selling incredible for its first year, and it's kind of hard to stop that train from moving or at least even slow it down at this point because they're just PlayStation's just a huge brand at this point. So
Massive.
it's really gonna come to a point now where we'll praise you when you're right and you're doing great stuff, but we have to like bring the hammer down when stuff like this happens because it's not
Mm-hmm.
acceptable.
Yeah, definitely.
And at this point, it's just getting annoying. Like, I want to boot up my PS5 and play some of my favorite classics. I want that convenience. Convenience sells, and if you have
Yes,
it,
sir.
it's gonna sell, man.
Yeah,
And they
definitely.
emphasize that in kind of funny that the definition of next gen is convenience. Make it convenient. You have to make it convenient. If it's not convenient, it's going to be a pain in the ass, and then gaming is going to become unfun. That's the whole point of gaming, to de-stressify, to have a good time, unless you're a
Yeah,
competitor or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, so that's I think that's a wrap on that one. Unless any of you guys want to add more to it. Soul, did you want to add something else to The fact that the PS Store is closing, kind of Sony being really, really quiet about a lot of stuff.
No, I think. Oh my god, man! I don't know if you guys are watching this,
I
man.
saw this. I saw that second one pop up.
I'm losing my mind. Oh my god! Oh my god! No, no, Ellie, what are you doing? Go, go! What are you doing? No!
His
Oh
live
my
game.
god!
Punches.
Okay, I'm going.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm going. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This man cannot
Oh my
crawl.
god. Oh my god, dude. I'm like in a cold sweat, man. Oh my god. Oh my, I have no health. Oh my god, dude. That was like the most
Jesus
stressful part. Oh
Yeah, that's the worst part. Stalkers.
yeah, the stalkers are awful, man.
Throwback to that time, Soul was like, I'll never play Last of Us 2 during a podcast.
Bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did say that. But things happen, man.
I'd say though, I am enjoying this gameplay though.
Yeah, dude, it's a great game. Yeah. So you're right, man. We exhausted this topic. Look, man, Sony, you got to do better in that. And look, I love the games you guys make, but it's just the human side that we want to see improvement on. And like the thing is that like we want to see. You guys remember when the whole sort of fiasco of the pre-orders happened, and they came out on Twitter and they're like, "Hey, man, that stuff was that stuff sucked, man. We could have handled that better." I was like, that was generally like shocking. I was like, "Whoa!" Like Sony and Nintendo definitely would never do something like that. So definitely more of that, man. Like that felt like a genuine like human, like okay, like someone is actually talking to me now. Like it's not just
Yeah.
like robotic. So definitely
Yeah,
more of
that's
that.
that's the one problem I have with PlayStation just in general. It's just what is the communications team doing? Like I don't get it. Like what's like if it's not what they're doing, then what's restricting them from doing something?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and again, I don't want to bastardize the guy, but Jim Ryan, man, he's leading the ship. Come on, man. Like if the Titanic's sinking, who are you gonna blame? The captain and the guy looking ahead with the telescope thing. Jim Ryan's
he'll
both.
He's blaming the
both.
iceberg.
He's blaming the iceberg. It blended with the sky. No, it's just it's I gotta. I'm sorry, man. We had to put some kind of blame here because this. I feel like all these problems really started when Sean Layden just abruptly got let go or
Yeah.
left the company, where the case may be. Shout out to Sean Layden though. He's a trooper.
Yeah, that's fair, man. All right, so let's talk about this Cyberpunk news, man. Walt, did you do your homework, man? And then
Listen, man, I got a direct quote from the CEO Adam Kaczynski. Listen.
all right, tell us.
Previously, we hinted that our next AAA would be a multiplayer Cyberpunk game, but we have decided to reconsider this now. Given our new, more systematic and agile approach, instead of primarily focusing on one big online experience or game, we are focusing on bringing online into all of our franchises one day. Essentially, whether that be because of what happened with Cyberpunk, which it's pretty much might be the case, this is fantastic.
Oh, you
Why?
think so?
Because now, because they can focus on the broken game they launched. They can actually focus all their efforts right now.
That's a good point.
Don't think about DLC. Don't think about multiplayer. Don't think about future IPs. If you have a separate team for that and they're like coming up with ideas, then by all means. But focus all your efforts on making the once promised game to change it all actually good. Y'all saw the latest patch notes. It was a whole book of patch notes.
Yo, no lie, I saw I saw someone convert that into like the Star Wars wall scroll. And that was so funny, man. It was so funny.
That's
Listen,
wild. That one reminds me just of Avengers, man. When Avengers released, and there's like a couple days after it came out, there's like a patch that had like 1,000 fixes in it or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh
the
yeah, I
thing
remember
is,
that.
and the thing is that I don't think people were expecting them to continue their efforts with the multiplayer like at all. At least not this soon, you know? They were real about it. Hey, we're not going to do this because we're going to bring them to all of our games. What does that mean? Does that also include Witcher? Would that also include Witcher? Like, would they include a multiplayer for Witcher? Or
No,
does that just be
definitely
future
not.
games?
No, I think it's meant for future games.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I mean, regardless of what they do with their multiplayer scene, this, in my case, my biggest problem with CD Projekt Red in the last couple of months was their just atrocity of a launch and their lack of transparency in regards to console titles. For me, it was either delay it again or not release it for previous gen, because it was just a constant stream of lies. And I thought Todd Howard was bad, but honestly, this just screams, for me. It screams just good things. For the game.
Todd Howard slander, man. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
I mean, I love the games, but reality is some of these executives, they kind of lack at certain points of communication. You know, mind you, some worse than others. I don't hate these people. They're just, they're running a business, and sometimes they commit just bad decisions. But in CD Projekt Red, this is great. This is great news for me. If they delay everything you're doing. Just focus on Cyberpunk. Try to fix it. Try to bring those 2 big patches that you said you were going to bring. I think these aren't even the big patches. I think these are just like some patch notes they're working on, and it's like a whole book. I expect the next patch notes to be as long as the last book from George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, it's kind of wild the time we're living in right now with that game, where like it's now used as a scapegoat as for don't do this, don't do that.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, wild. It shines light on a lot of problems that a lot of game industries might have, not in this severity, but in just little aspects here and there. It definitely raises awareness to be more, conscious with your money, vote with your wallets, essentially,
it's I don't know. What does that kind of say that like we're super surprised when a game? I guess because of the fact that games like take for like or like as devs say, it's like a miracle when they actually get made and sent out there. But
yeah,
I'm more surprised when the game is polished nowadays than when it's not.
Which is sad, man.
Yeah, like when I played Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time last year on PS4, mind you, so it's like pretty like ancient hardware at this point.
No.
But that game was just incredibly polished, like to the point I was just like, Square Enix made this?
Like, you stole the words out of my mouth. I was gonna talk about the remake too.
Yeah, I was like, and they made 15. We're like, really? So like, I know it's kind of nuts. I think Cyberpunk was just definitely overstepping, and that kind of just talks in spades when you see their patch notes for the past couple months.
Oh, for sure. What about you, Jay? What do you think about this multiplayer decision?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that, oh my God. I agree that, this will theoretically give them more opportunity to focus on the game proper, which is
correct.
Which is what I want. So if that is truly the case, then yeah, I'm happy with that decision. It's just more. It's just like for me, the thing is, it's like it's another sort of like tick mark in a long list of sort of unfulfilled promises by CDPR. That it's like, yeah, they were shouting from well, I don't know if I could say shouting from the rooftops that hey, Cyberpunk was going to have multiplayer, but they definitely talked extensively that hey, this game is going to have a multiplayer component in some form or fashion, and
for sure.
And I don't know, just to see that I don't know if
they didn't have this planned.
It's kind of sad.
They didn't have this whole fiasco planned.
It's yeah, and that even makes me wonder, like, did they even like start development on this multiplayer thing? Like, was it ever a thing? Like, I don't know. It's more sad than anything to me that it's just like, man, like another thing that they have to like kind of like backtrack on.
Yeah, they probably did what Naughty Dog did, where they had multiplayer in focus for Last of Us 2, but decided to convert those devs over to single player to make sure single player was as good as it needed to be.
Yeah, definitely.
And 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 hey, I'm all for I'm all for focusing on bigger issues. You know, in this case being their current game and not so much future projects. But thinking that because you made a few like great games, and not even like a few, like one of them was like the big hitter, which was Wild Hunt, and everyone instantly thought of them as like the messiah of game developers. I don't know if that played into it and maybe getting into their heads as much as like, oh no, it's gonna be a banger, and they didn't even like stop and say, wait, is this actually good? I mean, I don't know if that might have been
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the things. But like on a lighter note, which this is for Jay, but talking about CD Projekt Red, they worked on Cyberpunk. Yeah, we all know that horrible launch and whatever. But they worked on The Witcher. But we're not talking about The Witcher games. Jay, what's happening in the Witcher world? What's been confirmed?
Oh yeah.
What's been happening?
The goddamn Wild Hunt has been confirmed to be in The Witcher Netflix season 2, man.
That's wild, man.
Literally, yeah. Um,
You like
Really? I'm
that?
not the only one.
that was totally that
April
was
Fools,
totally
man. It's a power of April Fools.
oh man. Um, yeah, so like I don't know how to I don't know. There's a part of me that's obviously like excited. Um, at the same time, I'm like, man, like this kind of feels early. Uh, book.
It's too soon. I haven't read the book, so
Yeah,
is this too
because
soon?
Yeah,
so
definitely. It's definitely too soon.
they weren't introduced. So like, I'm assuming that they are because they didn't even start with the first novel yet. They haven't adapted that yet. Like they for
The Last
the
Wish.
uh
Well,
sorry so
they did one side story that was in the first episode, but I think that was maybe the only one.
So okay, so here's the weird thing. So like the books
Yes.
are divided like weirdly. So like technically the first two books that you should read are like a collection of side story or not side stories but short stories. So that's
Gotcha.
what the first season was. It was the first collection of short stories. Once you're finished with
Mm.
those two books, you move on to like the saga proper, which is five novels in total, which is like one overarching story about Geralt and his team trying to rescue Ciri. So season two, my and what we've seen so far is that they're moving into that overarching narrative proper, which is they're going into like technically the first book of this saga. So what I'm saying is that with this the Wild Hunt being in season two, in the books they don't come into play until technically the second book, which
Mm.
they're really only in it for like one scene and that's it. So like yeah, my thinking is like Macho said, yeah, it feels too soon, but at the same time there's a part of me that's like, okay, I'm interested. Like the most intriguing part of these things to me is seeing how they deviate from the source material and what sort of like new things they can bring to the table, because like I don't want a one-to-one adaptation, because like it's like I've already seen that, I've already read that, and that would be boring. So I want to see some things that the books didn't really get to touch on. Some characters get a little bit more screen time or what have you, and they definitely did that with the first season. So with the Wild Hunt being here in season two, my thinking is that like, okay, maybe they're gonna show us a little bit more that we didn't get to see in the books. So to me, that's exciting. But yeah, at the same time, like Macho said, I'm like, yeah, this is a little bit early, but let's see where it goes. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm
well,
excited for it. I really liked the Witcher books. I was more of a fan of the short story collections, just because I really really liked how Andrew Sapkowski adapted the like the old school fairy tales like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or Beauty and the Beast, for example. He
Mm.
did an amazing job, like just adapting to like fit the Witcher world, and that was
yeah,
a ton of fun. That's what I was looking forward to the most, like with this show. which the showrunner did promise that these short stories will be sprinkled throughout, which it was in season 1.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
loved it.
I fully expect that to be the case with season 2 as well. Like, because they definitely nowhere near have covered all the short stories, so they will definitely continue that with season 2. That they'll sprinkle those in when they make sense, I would guess.
Did you play? Did you not play? Did you read Season of Storms?
No, that's the only one I haven't read because like it
Oh,
just
do
doesn't
it.
it doesn't make sense to me.
Nah, dude, you gotta read it. I'm telling you, I was hesitant on reading it, but once actually my fiance picked it up for me, and then I started reading it then, and it was really good. It's actually a really good novel. If you like the books, you're gonna like this one.
Yeah, I mean, my only thing is that like it's so weird because it's like it's not it's not necessarily like a prequel. It's not a sequel. It's so weird because like it came out once the main story was already done. So it's just like I don't know why I'm reading this. I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it.
Well, it's more serving just like I guess like the best analogy I can think of is like if you're like in a pub with Dandelion, he's saying like one of these adventures of Geralt. This is like one of those things, where it's like this is like one of the many adventures of Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you like that and you're like, yeah, I love Geralt, I love to see like what kind of stuff he goes on with we haven't seen before, then like Season of Storms, it's really good.
So it's like an anthology
uh,
of stories.
Yeah, more, yeah. Well, Season of Storms is more like what Jay was talking before, the short story collections were like the first
Yeah.
two, and then Season of Storms, they're kind of like the same thing, where like they all have like their own little separate short stories in that novel, and then they have like a couple of chapters that kind of like interconnect the entire short stories, like to have like a grander like theme or
Oh,
motive or
okay.
something. Yeah,
It
so
just
like all
fleshes
of it
out
kind of
certain
connects.
scenarios. Okay.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited. Hopefully, what's that planned for release? So is that like 2022
well,
for the season 2?
they actually just wrapped up filming. So I would honestly expect a trailer to come fairly soon. But in terms of release, yeah, I'm not sure. I think I mean I'm crossing my fingers for fall of this year, which would put it out like what 2 years after the first season came out. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for, but yeah, they haven't really said anything.
Yeah, we'll see how long post production takes them then.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so yeah, that does it for that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss? Like, this was a pretty light week, man. So I don't know if there was like another topic you guys had in mind that you wanted to talk about.
Nah. I mean, I don't have. I don't play it as much, but I think Ratchet and Clank went at 60 FPS,
Oh
right?
yeah, Macho, you
Yeah.
wanted to talk about right, the Insomniac on fire lately, right?
Oh, Insomniac is definitely on fire. With I don't know how they do it. They're honestly on that level of developer wizardry, where they are working. You know what they're working on, but behind the scenes they're doing a lot more. They just released an update for Miles Morales,
Yeah.
Spider-Man on PS5. On PS5 they have the upgrade where he has a muscle deformation. So I think like based on like what Miles is doing or the kind of like the wear and tear I guess from fighting, it'll show like on the suit and just basically have more detail. I don't know the exact science behind it, but it sounds pretty nuts and basically just means that Spider-Man 2 on PS5 is going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they released a 60 frames per second update for Ratchet and Clank that Walt just said. And yeah, I
Yeah,
actually dove into Ratchet and Clank real quick. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking
yeah.
Yeah,
about.
I
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I need
Nice.
to get back into that. Yeah. But yeah, that's on top of everything that they did with obviously, releasing Miles and all the sort of the modes that came out for that, and then Spider-Man remastered as well, what they did with that. So like,
Oh yeah.
man, so Sony's been putting Insomniac to work, man.
Seriously, seriously, and the thing is, we don't even know what has been unannounced from them because apparently, Resistance. There's rumors that Resistance might be coming back.
Oh, really?
And yeah, because I think they hired like the one of the lead writers for a first-person shooting game. I forgot the details of it because the report was months ago, but yeah. So there's rumors that Resistance might be coming back. Who knows? Maybe they might be working on new IP. So,
Interesting.
Insomniac they're putting in the work. I think they're already one of the top devs now. But as far as for the future of PS5, it's gonna be nuts. They're gonna be up there. It's like I would be really surprised they don't win like Developer of the Year for 2021 or something.
Yeah, definitely. They've been killing it lately, man. Um, uh, Actually, we should should we also touch on this whole situation with Kotaku, really quick? Because I'm gonna
As
be
someone
honest.
as someone who works in news, yeah, I can
Because
definitely.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm always down for some Kotaku slander.
Oh man, you're not a fan of the Kataks?
Nah.
It's
um,
not like they don't get it. They don't get slander at all.
yeah. So essentially this, and I could tell. I don't know how, like, sure, if you're just like casually like scrolling through your timeline, then sure, I guess I can understand if why you wouldn't notice it right away. But like, once I saw like the Twitter handle and I saw the seven in the white circle with the seven in there, like that
Mm.
should have given it away immediately. Like, I don't know
Send
how.
shivers down your spine.
I I don't know how it just didn't register for others, but that's neither here or there. Anyway, essentially this fake Halo account came out and said, "Hey, it's a development update on Halo Infinite," and essentially I didn't read the thing because obviously, like, I knew it was BS. So, and also, when I did see it on my timeline, I saw the name Chris Lee at the bottom, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that guy leave the studio as well? He was like the former studio head or something, and I'm pretty sure he left after the first delays. I think. Don't quote me on that, but
Mm.
so that was like another thing that kind of like
He's not at the place. He's a former producer and creative
yeah,
director.
exactly. So yeah, that was that also. Once I saw that name quickly on my feed, I was like, okay, just keep scrolling and move on. But then you have Kotaku. They reported on it confidently.
They're
Halo
they're
Infinite.
quick on it.
Yeah, they were so quick on that, man. Didn't even, verify nothing. They're so quick on that. And they're
Did you hear that,
like,
Jay? Did you hear that, Jay?
oh, what? What was that?
Wait, is that Kotaku over there? Wait.
Oh, man. Oh, but yeah,
Walt's got the joke today.
yeah, for real. Walt's on something else today, man. So yeah, they reported Halo Infinite was delayed to 2022. What were you guys think? What's your guys' thoughts on this?
The cloud. I mean, how do you not fact check
I'll
this?
let you go in because I have a more like different approach to this one, despite it
Okay.
being hilarious.
First of all, how do you not fact check this? What was the approach here? Or if if they like coincidentally maybe this was an April Fool's thing and they just honestly how as someone that I'm relatively new to this whole writing thing. I'm taking a bit of a break. Um, I try to fact check everything and try to like literally just be verbatim that it's as accurate as possible. So this, honestly, I didn't even take it seriously. I just saw it and I saw the context Come on, man. It didn't surprise me. It just made it funnier because it's Kotaku. Not that Kotaku is by any means, Oh, what are we kidding? We know we know what's up. It's a whole. So many things have happened that it's not even a clown. It's a whole circus. But yeah, that's essentially it.
Yeah.
You macho?
It's as someone who works for a news station, I can sympathize when you're prioritizing speed over accuracy. I can empathize because for people that like are new to the job or are just breaking into it, they want to be fast, right? Because fast gets the clicks.
Yeah.
But I learned that through the hard way. Thankfully, I didn't learn through any like crazy lesson like this one. But I learned through the hard way, regardless, that accuracy always triumphs over speed.
Yeah.
Every single time. If you look, yeah. So when I actually clicked on their article link, and they did the news thing. They did the news thing that even we do at WTNH in Connecticut. If you get a breaking news story, you put in one line, put in the headline, send it out, push it, right? This is exactly what Kotaku did. But so they did actually link the tweet in their articles, and I was like, no way.
Man.
So I clicked on the article, and then I clicked on the link in the tweet, and it was fake Twitter. I couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Someone got fooled before April Fool's.
And listen, man, this is by no means we mean any disrespect to the person. I'm glad that this wasn't like a legit thing that happened not during a time of transitioning to April Fools where people much more they would consider this what? Like people
no,
actually
yeah, no,
like,
that's that's the thing. Like at least like this person that wrote the article and sent out the tweet, whatever, they better thank the heavens that they weren't doing like a COVID death story or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Thankfully, it was just about video games. It was about a wrong tweet that they just didn't fact check correctly. So again, I can sympathize with someone that wants to be like speedy and all that stuff, but man, you gotta be accurate. That's like the one thing. That's like the one true thing that your audience will always gravitate towards, is that whether you're accurate and whether they can, align with, their beliefs with yours and stuff like that. When you send out stuff like this is like, this is like, all right, you're on shaky ground, because I know there's definitely a pocket of people that just are not fans of Kotaku at all. And for a lot more reasons than people think. And this is just another one of those where just like, dude, you could have just looked at the Twitter. Like for an extra 5 seconds, you could spare an extra 5 seconds just to confirm.
Literally.
That's all it takes.
But,
it
but
literally
hey,
just takes an extra 5 seconds.
Nothing, just a little bit of fun. Just a little bit of.
Oh no, yeah, no, I know, I had no. That again, someone who works in the news industry, I had to like clown them a bit. I was like, not so fast, Kotaku. I caught you in 4K. Like,
yeah, saw your tweet.
Yeah, I was like, I caught you. I saw that. I'm screenshotting this. it's funny regardless. Again, we're dealing with games, so it's like it's not a huge deal. But like, it's just so funny to the point where I'm just like, oh man. That one's gonna go home feeling pretty bad. Yeah, and then it was kind of funny. Xbox kind of dogging on it too, and like the social media head for Xbox being like, I didn't know it was April Fool's today.
Yeah. Now, what would make this actually pretty funny, and it would make it come full circle, is that if eventually Halo did get a delay, like somewhere later in the year. Could you imagine that? Then
would be the absolute clownery.
Right? Dude, they predict the future. They're the greatest news outlet ever.
And then I'd be like, you know what, Kotaku, you guys can hold this win.
You're right.
Yeah. I better see Kotaku put out a smirk emoji if that does happen too.
Right.
Who says we lost our sources?
Who says?
Well, man, funny stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think we
He's
can we can we
he's
can end we can end the podcast right now, man.
Yeah, before Jay gets in another pickle here in this game.
yeah, no, he's right now he's kind of dodged some whispers, so
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I'm actually this is
did a good
actually
job.
it's all right, man. We're doing fine. It was just that as Walt knows, man, that stalker area is and
no, it's horrible.
I'm playing on hard plus too, man. That I don't recommend
Oh,
doing that on while you're podcasting at the same time, man. I
should
don't
have done
know.
grounded. Do they have grounded?
Yeah, I think I do. Um,
Oh,
but
which
no,
by the
dude.
way, if for any Last of Us fans out there, play the game on Grounded. It's an incredible experience.
It's
Yeah.
a great experience for sure. It's a
Yeah,
great
I
experience.
did that. I did it the past year, and I think it was like the summer of last year, and I thought I was honestly gonna be a pain in the ass, but I really, really had a good time with that.
All right, maybe I'll try that. Um, but yeah, man, that's
Not on
gonna.
stream though. Not on stream.
Yeah, definitely not. I get too stressed on just hard plus right now, man. With low resources and low ammo, I don't even have health kits, man. I like, Jesus. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us, man. Thanks for everyone who stopped through. Don't forget to toss us a like and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel, man. We would greatly appreciate it. Um, so
Yeah, man.
yeah.
86 more until we get to customize our link. So
Yeah, man,
subscribe.
that's the big milestone right there. Um,
Smash that
so
like button.
yo, Walt sounded like those typical YouTubers, those 13-year-old
Got
YouTubers right there.
gotta get in the rhythm, man. Gotta
Yeah,
get in
man.
that Fortnite compilation. Ew.
Walt's
Ew.
our
He
Walt's
said
our
ill.
Walt's our advertising guy, man. He knows what's up.
Absolutely.
Oh
Um,
my
He's gonna be our ad voice for all the underwear we're gonna sell.
oh man.
god.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Anyway, um, all right. Guys, what's going on with you guys this week? For me personally, I'm actually working on a Last of Us Part 2 article talking about the gameplay on Lognet. So look out for that, man. I'm excited to get that one out because I playing this game again, man. Has I got that I'm currently working on right now. Um, But yeah, what's going on with you guys? Oh, and Disco Elysium as for games wise, that's what I think before Returnal gets here, that's probably gonna be my main focus. So yeah, what's going on with you guys?
Well, but before we dive into Macho's journalistic goodness, I gotta say it's been exam week for me. It's almost over. So what am I working on? I'm working on studying, y'all. It's some real interesting stuff. I've been
Nice.
uh, I've been trying to help just report so many tweets that spoil uh, Attack on Titan because not for me, but I'm really want someone that I want people to enjoy this series. For as trivial as some people might consider it, this is a series that's been it's been running for 10 or so years, and the anime ending is going to come out this winter, but the manga ending is going to come out next week. So if you are an anime only watcher, anyone listening, be careful. Unless you want to read the manga, but if you want to wait until the anime comes out, please mute the heck out of Attack on Titan. Because there's going to be spoilers galore. And if you don't want to get ruined of this beautiful, beautiful series that's been building up for so many years, do yourself a favor. Just be careful. Now, in terms of writing, what am I writing? I have no idea, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what I'm going to write. If I'm going to write even. Because honestly, there's too many essays I've been writing for uni. So I'll let you know. But if you want to catch me, if you want to catch the retweets of those articles, if you want to catch me anywhere, it's at Walt Lando on Twitter. Catch me there with anything from anime to video games to just art. I retweet, I like, do whatever you want, guys.
Yeah, and we'll have as usual, we'll have everyone's information in the description below. Macho, what about you, man?
Yeah, so check lordsofgaming.net for the review on Lost Words Beyond the Page, a really fun, cute indie game that's nice narrative driven. You're gonna have a great time with that if you just want to sit down, relax, enjoy a really nice, heartfelt story with some inventive gameplay and really amazing music. And shout out to Sidoni Maria Shikala. She's actually the voice actress for that game and the narrator. Incredible person and a fantastic, fantastic voice actress. So again, I highly recommend Lost Words Beyond the Page. And look out for reviews on the same website, lordsofgaming.net, for my review of It Takes Two, which hopefully I get to complete that maybe today or sometime this weekend. And also Bravely Default 2. Writing a review for JRPG is more work than it is fun, but those will get done. And I just rhymed. So that's my time.
Oh man.
Word.
Oh man. I'm gonna end the podcast right now, man. Like I said, thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.